Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Yeah.
So today we're diving into something that I think is on a lot of people's minds,
Yeah.
and that's financial wellness.
Right?
So we're going to be looking at it through the lens of the ZenHaven1010 blog post, How to Unchain Yourself from the Money Monster.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Such a great title.
I love that.
And of course, we'll be referencing our very own ZenHaven1010 journal, which I'm super excited about because
Yes.
it has no prompts.
Very customizable.
It is so customizable, so you can really make it your own for this journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's one of the key things that really stood out to me when I was looking at the blog posts and the journal is that this isn't just about,
Yeah.
giving you a set of rules like do this, do that.
Right.
It's really a mindset shift and like finding what works for you
Totally.
or kind of creating your own path to financial wellness.
Yeah, and I think that's so important because so often we think about finances as just these like cold, hard numbers,
Right.
but it's so connected to our well-being,
Oh, absolutely.
our mental and emotional health.
Cute.
So why don't we start there? Why is financial stability so important for our overall happiness?
I mean, think about it when you are constantly worried about money,
Oh, yeah.
about bills, and, maybe even struggling to make ends meet. That stress, it impacts everything.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah.
impacts your sleep, how you show up in your relationships, even your ability to focus at work.
It's a cycle.
It's this vicious cycle
Yeah.
where financial worries lead to anxiety, and then anxiety can lead to even more financial difficulties.
And it's like you're always one step behind,
Totally.
And that's where I think this approach of combining journaling with this mindful approach to finances is so powerful because it's not just about the numbers. It's about
Like getting to the root of it.
Yeah.
Like, why are we making the decisions we're making?
how is that impacting me?
Exactly. And how
Yeah.
can we use journaling to kind of
Yeah.
break free from that cycle?
Totally. So how does journaling help us do that?
So the journal, think of it as a tool for self-discovery
Okay.
and reflection. And since it doesn't have any prompts, it really allows you to personalize it.
Yeah.
You can track your spending. You can just kind of brain dump all your financial anxiety.
You can see patterns.
Exactly. You start to see patterns. And that's step one, right?
Awareness.
Awareness. You can't change what you don't know.
Right. And the blog post uses this metaphor of the money monster, which I think is so brilliant.
Oh, it's so good.
Like you can't fight a monster you can't see.
Right, exactly.
So journaling helps us illuminate,
Shine light on it.
yes, shine a light on those spending patterns and kind of figure out where the monster is hiding.
Where's it lurking?
Where is it lurking?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so we've identified our money monsters now. What?
Well, the next step is creating a financial roadmap, and that starts with a budget.
Ooh, budget. Okay.
But the way they talk about budgeting in the blog post, I really appreciate because it's not about restriction.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's where I think a lot of people get,
It's like, oof,
yeah, they get scared of budgeting.
totally. It feels like this negative thing.
Limiting,
Yes,
but a plan that supports the life you want to live.
exactly. And that's where the journal can be so powerful. You can track your income, your expenses,
Right.
categorize your spending. You can even identify those like little sneaky, non-essential expenses that are draining your resources.
The little things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the things that seem small, but they add up. This whole manifesting thing seems to be a big part of the ZenHaven1010 philosophy.
It is, yeah.
Can you break that down?
Sure. Now, manifesting in its essence is about focusing your energy and intentions
Right.
on what you want to attract into your life.
Yeah.
Now, some people might find it a little woo-woo,
Okay.
but there's a lot of psychology behind it, right?
Oh, yeah.
When you consistently visualize your goals,
Right.
you're essentially priming your brain to look for opportunities
Right.
and to take action.
So it's not just about like
No,
wishing for things to magically appear.
no, you have to take action.
But what about those of us who maybe struggle with negative thoughts about money?
Oh, yeah.
Those limiting beliefs
Mm-hmm.
that can hold us back.
Yes.
Does the source material address that?
Absolutely. The source material really emphasizes the importance of shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance.
Okay.
And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through gratitude.
But how can being grateful for like a few dollars in my savings account actually lead to more abundance?
Okay, well, it's all about shifting your focus.
Yeah.
When you're constantly worried about like not having enough,
Yeah.
you're essentially affirming that lack in your life.
Right.
But when you focus on the good things,
Yeah.
even if they seem small, you start to cultivate this feeling of abundance. And that, my friend, is what attracts more abundance.
So by using the ZenHaven1010 journal,
Yes.
to record things I'm grateful for, even if they're related to my finances. I'm sending a message to the universe that I'm open to receiving more.
You're priming the pump for abundance.
So it's like this positive feedback loop.
Yes.
You're grateful for what you have, which attracts more abundance.
Yes.
Which makes you even more grateful.
Precisely. And the ZenHaven10 journal gives you that structure to cultivate gratitude.
Right.
And keep those positive vibes flowing.
This is incredible.
It is.
I'm already feeling more abundant.
I know, right? It's amazing.
Just talking about it.
How something as simple as journaling can have such a profound impact on our finances.
It really is.
And our well-being.
The ZenHaven1010 journal sounds like a fantastic tool for anyone who wants to take control of their finances, cultivate a mindset of abundance, and manifest their financial dreams.
It is. You know, it's interesting you mentioned the word journey. Like, the source material really emphasizes that.
Oh, okay.
You know? Okay. Like seeing financial wellness as a continuous thing.
Right.
It's not about like reaching some magical endpoint where you're like, I'm financially secure.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's more about, building those healthy habits.
Right.
And making conscious choices every day.
Absolutely. And the source material acknowledges that there will be bumps.
Oh, for sure.
Along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unexpected expenses pop up. You might experience some setbacks.
Totally.
There might even be moments where you feel like giving up.
Absolutely.
Life happens. It throws curveballs.
It does.
But the key is to stay flexible.
Yes.
Adapt to those changes. And keep moving forward.
I like it.
We've tackled budgeting, saving, debt. And now comes, I think, a topic that can feel really intimidating for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's investing.
Investing. Yeah, it can feel like a big, scary world out there.
It does. Like, it feels like you need to be like a Wall Street wizard to even understand it.
You need a special hat and everything.
Yeah, exactly. But the way they talk about it in the ZenHaven1010 blog, it just feels so much more approachable.
Yeah. They do a really good job of demystifying it.
Yeah.
And emphasizing that investing is for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to have a ton of money.
Right.
You don't need to be a financial expert.
Right.
It's really about taking those small steps and just getting started.
So for someone like me who's like, okay, I'm intrigued by investing, but I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah. Well, they talk about the importance of starting small and being consistent.
Okay.
And they give a really good overview of different types of investments, stocks, bonds, real estate, all those things.
So it's kind of like getting an education first, like understanding the
They
different...
do their research.
Yeah.
Figure out what feels aligned with your values.
With your goals.
With your goals, exactly. And then start small, even if it's just, a small amount each month.
Okay. And they mention compound interest.
Yes.
Which I feel like that's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but I don't really understand how it works.
It's kind of like magic.
Okay, tell me about the magic.
Okay, so basically compound interest is the idea that your money earns interest and then that interest earns interest.
So it's not just the money I'm putting in, it's the money that the money is making.
Yes, exactly. Your money is working for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So it's all about kind of like the long game with investing.
Exactly. You're planting a seed and watching it grow.
I like that. Okay, so we're starting small, we're being consistent, but how do we actually choose the right investments?
Yeah, that's where diversification comes in.
Okay, I remember reading about that in the blog, but remind me what that is.
So they use this analogy of putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
If that basket falls, you lose everything.
Right.
But if you spread your eggs across multiple baskets...
Then you're minimizing the risk.
Exactly. You're reducing the risk.
Yeah. Okay, so diversification is about not putting all of our money in one place.
Exactly. Spreading it out.
Got it. Okay, so, and again, I'm just seeing the journal as like this companion throughout this whole process.
It's your trusty sidekick.
It's where I can brainstorm my goals,
yes,
research different investment options, track my progress.
Absolutely.
And even like jot down questions for a financial advisor.
Yeah, because sometimes you need that extra support.
Right. Like sometimes you need to talk to an expert.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about all these strategies, but ultimately it's not just about the numbers, right?
No, it's not just about the numbers. It's about the mindset.
It's about that mindset shift.
Exactly.
So let's talk more about that. How does this idea of gratitude that we touched on earlier, how does that really play into our financial well-being?
Yeah, it really is. And I think it's such a powerful reminder that when we shift our focus to what we're grateful for, it can really change our whole perspective.
Totally. And I think for me, even with, all these tools and strategies, there are still those moments where I just feel overwhelmed by my finances.
Oh, absolutely. It's normal to feel overwhelmed sometimes, especially with something as complex as money. There are so many moving parts.
And I think sometimes it's easy to get caught up in that comparison game,
Yeah.
looking at what other people have and feeling like we're not enough.
Absolutely. And social media definitely doesn't help with that.
No, it does not.
It's easy to get caught up in that highlight reel.
Yeah, and that's where I think this whole idea of gratitude is so important. It's bringing it back to what do I have to be grateful for right now?
Right here, right now.
Yeah, and I think that can really help shift that mindset.
Absolutely. And it's not about, pretending that everything's perfect or ignoring the challenges.
Right.
It's about acknowledging, the good things in your life, even amidst the difficulties.
And I think the journal can be so powerful for that too. Just having that space to reflect and kind of remind yourself of.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And, celebrate your wins too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we forget to do that.
We do.
We're so focused on what's next that we don't take the time to appreciate how far we've come.
And even just the small wins, maybe I paid off a small debt or, I saved an extra 100 this month.
Yeah, or you packed your lunch instead of eating out.
Yeah, exactly. Those are still wins.
Those are huge wins.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I really want to focus on more this year is celebrating those small wins.
I love that.
Because I think it can really help with that motivation.
Absolutely. And it helps build momentum too.
Yeah.
When you start to see those wins, you're like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah. I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what this whole approach is about. It's it's not about perfection.
It's about progress.
It's about progress. It's about those small steps.
Yeah.
And it's about...
And giving yourself grace.
Yes. Giving yourself grace along the way. Because it's a journey.
It is.
It's not a destination.
It's not like you reach financial wellness and then you're done.
Right?
It's an ongoing process.
It's a practice.
It is.
And I think that's really what I've taken away from this deep dive is that it's not just about the numbers. It's about our relationship with money.
Absolutely.
It's about how we think about it, how we feel about it.
And how we can use it to create the life that we want.
Yeah. And I think that's such a powerful message.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to add or any final thoughts for our listeners?
I would just say, if you're feeling overwhelmed, reach out for support.
Yes.
There are so many resources available, whether it's a financial advisor, a trusted friend or family member, or even just a supportive online community. There's no shame in asking for help.
I love that. And I bet the ZenHaven 1010 journal could be a really great tool for incorporating those practices.
It could. You could track your self-care activities,
right?
Set intentions for how you want to feel each day.
Yeah.
Even just jotting down a few things you're grateful for.
It's all about, creating a personalized roadmap to a more abundant life.
That's what we want, and that is what ZenHaven 1010 Deep Dive is all about. We're so glad you joined us.
We are. We're here to guide you, support you, and inspire you on your path to financial wellness and overall well-being. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a little challenge.
Oh, I like a challenge. Tell me.
Okay, so think about one thing you're truly grateful for financially right now.
Okay.
It can be anything, big or small.
Maybe it's a few dollars in your savings account.
Yeah.
A recent raise. Even just having a roof over your head.
Once you've identified that one thing, I want you to write it down in your ZenHaven 1010 journal.
Yes.
Really savor that feeling of gratitude.
Let it wash over you.
Because when we focus on the good, we open ourselves up to receiving even more.
And that is the power of abundance in action.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you. We'll see you next week.
We'll be back next Monday with a brand new episode. We release new episodes every single Monday.
Every Monday, that's right.
Until then, keep shining your light.
Keep manifesting your dreams.
And we'll see you next week.